Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. My name is Lori and this is Entre Tejidos Crochet. Today's video is yet another vlog. As I mentioned in one of my videos, this is probably going to be the norm for the foreseeable future, where I just vlog, I just come on and share what I've been able to do. Hopefully from one day to the other, although we know that, life happens and sometimes the updates are every 2 days. But regardless, today's video is going to document the week before releasing the Danny Dino mod. Spoiler alert, we have officially reached 7 dinosaurs. Officially. Hi everyone, this is update number 1. It's Monday, and before we jump into what I've been doing today, let's jump into and kind of like go over what I did over the weekend. Over the weekend, even though I did not crochet a whole lot, I did make a lot of headway with my Danny Dino pattern. I also pattern tested 2 summer seahorses. The pattern is by Crochet with Hooks, and let me show you just how perfect that pattern is. Just look at this. Like, it doesn't even fit in the entire, there. Just look at that. Look at that. This was my first go through of the pattern. This one was my second. This one is so much better, although they are still very, very, very cute in their own way, in their own right. And this is one of those patterns where you're using familiar stitches, you're using double crochets, you're using slip stitches, you're using single crochets. It's how you place them and how you use them that make this whole thing like so amazing, for sure. This one I used Bernat Blanket Lovely Blues and Smoky Green. This one is Basix Chenille in pastels and in banana. I did work on my Danny Dino pattern quite a bit. I actually got the bigger chunk of the pattern, which is the parts for the arms, the legs, the head, body, and tail, all ironed out. Everything's okay with what I want it to look like. I just need to do the same thing for all the mods. Make sure that each mod is well explained out. Not that you have, like, I don't want you to have one part of the pattern be this like really well explained part, and then the instructions for this other part be really bare. So I want to, finesse and continue to play with it. Now, the bad thing about doing that, even though I am making a lot of headway with it, the bad thing is not that I'm not able to crochet as I'm fixing up the pattern. No, the bad thing is that instead of 6 dinosaurs, we are now getting 7 dinosaurs. Because as I was working on this little cutie over the weekend, I came up with the idea for the Dilophosaurus. It's the little crested dinosaur from Jurassic Park, the first movie, the one that gets into like this person's car and then kind of like, I don't know what it does, but it just like opens up its crests and like squirts something out, that sort of thing, that sort of dinosaur. And the inspiration came from, I was trying to gauge where I was going to sew on the crest on the Triceratops, and I moved it towards the back a little bit. I was like, wait, we can definitely make that dinosaur. I just need to make the crest smaller, make 2 of them, and using the head ridges from the Entrosaurus, which is the dinosaur number 6, we can get that other dinosaur. So yeah, we are getting 7 dinos. 7 dinos. And I don't know, I'm obsessed with it. It really is something that's, you know, good things come to those who wait, because as I mentioned quite a bit over the last couple of vlogs, this Danny Dino pattern has been in the works for about a year and a half. Not that I've been working on it for a year and a half consistently. No, it's just that I've wanted to make a dinosaur. I kind of had the general idea, but I wasn't too sold on it. And then over the course of like a year and a half, I would pull it out, tweak it, still not get too, you know, too happy with the result, put it back in, I want to say March or April. I pulled it out, started designing, and we got this. And even though I feel like we've been 2 months testing for, no, not 2 months. Yeah, for like 2.5 months since my testers have had this pattern. Wow. All the other mods, all the other cuties that have come out are just, yeah, it makes it so worth it. Now, into the pattern pack, one of my testers suggested to change the size of the horns for the Triceratops. This is so much better. However, in the pattern, I did leave both options. So you can make the smaller horns or the larger horns. It also really depends on if you're using jumbo yarn or like blanket yarn, because, you know, you have a bit more space to play around with the horns. But yeah, I like that. I like that. Speaking of dinosaurs and testers, I have one of my testers is using a lot of scrap yarn to make all of her dinos. And I actually did over the weekend organize this part, the parfait chunky area. The top part, we don't talk about that. That'll be something for another day. But I did organize my parfait chunky, and any ball of yarn that was smaller than 25 grams. Why 25? I don't know. I just felt like it was a good number. So any ball of yarn that was 25 grams or less, I placed it all in this bag, and that's what I'm going to use to pull scrap yarn to make my other Parasaurolophus, which is the duck-billed dinosaur. Really should look for other projects to work on so that I'm busy and not thinking about dinosaurs, because not only did I add dinosaur number 7 to my pattern pack, I also started working on a velociraptor pattern. It'll look more or less the same, except smaller, you know, sort of like a velociraptor. So yeah, fun times, definitely fun times here. Today, as I've been working through doing my mommy chores and things like that, I have been working on the crested dinosaur. That's what we're going to name it for now, until I can fine tune how to pronounce the name. So I'm making him in orange. I'm using tangerine, mango, and acorn from Parfait Chunky. And I already have all 4 legs. I started on the face, and hopefully throughout the day I'll continue to work on it, and maybe by tomorrow's update, well, not maybe, I need to focus on this today so that tomorrow I can have everything done for like fine-tuning the pattern for release day. The peculiar thing about my Danny Dino pattern is that I feel like the progress is so slow when you start making the 4 legs and then the head, but then when you actually start from like the neck down, it just like flies by. And it's mostly because those first steps, making the legs and making the head, you don't have a lot of repeat rounds. So you really have to like pay attention to what you're doing. Now, when you get to the head, you do have, to the body, you do have quite a bit of repeat rounds. So I guess that makes it. Plus, once you're done with the body, all you have to do is just choose what dinosaur you want to make and go for it. And the way that I'm trying to design things within the pattern is that if you want to discover your very own dinosaur, you can do that. You can mix and match. In fact, the last dinosaur is very much like a mix and match sort of thing. I'm using the head crests from the Entrosaurus and a modified crest from the Triceratops. So other than working on the dinosaur so that I can take final photos and just focus on finishing up the pattern, I also do need to paint 2 big orders of safety eyes. And I believe one order is like 7 different pairs of eyes and the other one is 9 pairs of eyes. So it'll be nice to paint these and have these sent out by tomorrow. So I will check back in tomorrow with hopefully a new and the last dinosaur for the pattern pack. Good morning, this is update number 2. It is Tuesday, and between last update, so between yesterday and today, the only major thing that I was able to do crochet-wise was paint the 2 safety eye orders, because I kind of forgot how difficult it is to paint really small safety eyes. I'm not complaining by any means. I just forgot. And normally when I have orders of safety eyes for like the 20, 25, 30 millimeter safety eyes, it's easier for me to make them because I can be a bit more detailed in where I place the chunky glitter. But when it comes to the smaller ones, there's only a little bit of space for me to fit the glitters, but hey, it's okay. The whole thing about this is that it took me longer than I expected. So the progress on the dinosaur wasn't as what I hoped for. I had hoped for having it all completely done by today, but let me show you up to what point I got. Now, granted, I know it's still progress because in the last update, I only had the head and I already added the arms, and right now I'm about to start the round where I add the legs. And after that round, it's a whole bunch of rounds where I decrease. So it'll be done today, hopefully. I do have a couple of errands that I need to run. One of them being dropping off the safety eye orders. Let me show you the safety eyes that I painted right before I finish packing up these orders and send them out. So this first order is the one that took me the most time to make because, as I mentioned, I want to make sure that if you see some safety eyes that you just love the look of and you want them in smaller eyes, that you kind of get the same thing, except that some of my glitter mixes have bigger or chunkier flakes of glitter, or just overall flakes. Most of the eyes are blue. All of these safety eyes are in 16 millimeter. I did make a boo-boo, and so that we don't waste any sort of paper, the boo-boo was that I wrote 18 millimeter on every single one of these cards. And then I was like, wait, these aren't 18 millimeters, they're 16 millimeters. So I wrote it out on top of it, and I did explain in the note that like, hey, I made a boo-boo. So here they have Goldilocks, 2 pairs of aqua. The other one is Kaleidoscope, another pair. And here I can show you Kaleidoscope once I clean off the excess glitter, because whenever you are working with glitter flakes, fine glitter, it gets everywhere, especially when you work with resin, since you do have to have your area kind of like very well ventilated. In my case, I have the AC going, I have my windows open, and then I have the the ceiling fan on at full force, all while wearing a mask, so that the air is like pushed out, the like fumes and whatnot, which is good because I'm protected, but then sometimes the glitters get everywhere. So that's what I was cleaning off. So these are kaleidoscope in 30 millimeter. They still look very similar, but here you can get like the bigger chunks of glitter. Like you can appreciate them more. So we have kaleidoscope. They got 2 pairs of iceberg. Then they got celestial, blue stars, and flower power. This next order has all the pairs of eyes are 30 millimeter. Here we have celestial in 30 millimeter, 2 pairs of iceberg, a pair of gumdrop, rose gold. I really love these. I even painted an extra set for me. They are actually the ones that I have on the Triceratops here, and 2 pairs of lake waters. So these were the 2 orders that I spent most of the afternoon painting, and then I did not crochet in the evening, which is why the amount of progress in the dinosaur, there was progress, but it wasn't a whole lot, and that's okay. That's totally okay. I am trying to keep myself accountable and not design any more dinosaurs until this dinosaur pack is out. So hopefully that'll keep things a little bit more on the controlled, crazy crochet chaos. I will check back in tomorrow. Bye. Morning, it's update number 3. It's Wednesday. I did it. Also, Mr. Entre Tejidos is working from home today, which is amazing. Now, I did finish the crested dinosaur. And I also finished another one. Let's start with the one that I showed you all yesterday. Here he is. This is the crested dinosaur. I am kind of obsessed. When I was outside taking pictures of him, I was like, he kind of looks like a flower almost, which is okay, which is fine. And then it got me like, oh, maybe I can do like a flower crust or something, but I was like, no. Let's just finish what we have and then, like, you know, iron out the pattern, have it all set and ready for Saturday, because it's Wednesday, Saturday. So we have basically Thursday and Friday to finish the pattern, have all the listing photos taken, everything, and divide the pattern up, because right now it's a major pack. So far I have 27 pages of the pattern, but I am like, the whole idea is you buy the pattern, you can make all 7 dinosaurs, but I know some people will probably lean more towards one specific dinosaur, so I'll need to like pull from the main pack and then make it into its own like standalone pattern and then make the listing for that. We are done. We are done adding dinos to the pattern pack. Maybe I'll, you know, further along the way, I'll make like different little mods to add to your dinos. And I also have the idea for a velociraptor to add to it. Since I was able to finish the orange dinosaur, I took the final photos, I made the final edits into the pattern. I made my final pattern, well, not final, my final dinosaur for the mix. And it's a Parasaurolophus. It's the duck-billed dinosaur. And these colors were just like calling to me, as like I was looking through colors over here in like the blue and green section of my yarn stash. For some reason, the goblin was next to the classic blue. I was like, this is going to be so cute. And I added some lake water eyes to it, and I think this is my favorite combo so far. So I now officially have all 7 dinosaurs done in Parfait Chunky. I don't know how many dinosaurs in total I have. Right, so total I have 10 dinosaurs because I have 3 duck-billed dinosaurs. The first one, which is like the teal and gray that I have. Then I made it in blanket yarn. Then I made the Triceratops. I've made it in the jumbo yarn and Parfait Chunky as well. So I have 10 dinosaurs. I have my very own little army here. What is the plan for today? I need to take final photos of him, and I am going to spend the majority of the afternoon trying to finish the pattern as much as I can, and then go back and ask my testers, like, you know, make sure that I have your final photos and that sort of thing so that I can like relax. If I do feel up to it, what am I going to do crochet wise? I might work on a pattern test that I got picked for a Lotus flower snail for Handmade Crochet by AV. Or I might just pull out one of the lovey patterns that I've been meaning to make and get started on that. But we'll see. I will check back in tomorrow. Bye. All right, this is update number 4 and it's Thursday. It's between yesterday and today. It's been a really productive day. Officially, the pattern, Danny Dino pattern pack is done. The only thing that I would need to add is any final tester photos because they are still working on a few dinosaurs. But for the most part, it'll be just to like add the picture in, make sure that their handles link back to their Instagram account. But I'm done. I'm done. It's I can't believe it. I can't believe it. And you know, it releases on Saturday, so I still have the rest of today and tomorrow to like look it over. I still need to make the listings on Etsy so that they're all ready to go for release day, but I am just obsessed. Now after this update, I will need to go and take final photos. I want to try, I don't know if I'm going to be able to do that, but I want to try and take a picture with all the, why do I want to say dragons? All the dinosaurs on me, which is a feat because they're about 16 inches long and they're quite chunky. So we'll see. We'll see what I'm able to do. Then it's been very productive because 2 orders came in and I fulfilled them. So I'll drop them off at the post office tomorrow. And then I heard back from a giveaway winner. This was for Chronically Abby's 40K giveaway, and I donated 3 pairs of my eyes. So I heard back from the winner. They chose their colors and sizes. I got them done. So let me show you that. This is the giveaway prize. They selected 25mm gumdrop, 25mm aqua, and 25mm Solara. I got a safety eye order and they got 30mm iceberg. I wanted to gift this particular person, so I gave them 20mm white pupil mermaid, and mermaid is one of my discontinued eyes. And then the other order that I got was for plushies, and they got this big, really big tiger plushie, this unicorn snuggler. I love those curls. And they also got this flamingo. Now I already pulled all 3 plushies as you saw. Now I need to go through like a little bit of a quality control, make sure that I got all the fluffies out, that everything's like where it's supposed to be. There aren't any scratches on the safety eyes and all that. And then what I'm going to do for this one, since it's a pretty, like in terms of size, it's a big bag, what I'm going to do is to further protect the plushies, I'm going to wrap each plushie in its own poly mailer and then store all those poly mailers into a bigger one and have them all shipped out together. I think that's going to be the best way to send them out. The other thing that I made major headway, and I was like, oh my goodness, like who is she? To further add to being like super productive, I also started on a snuggler. And this is Ariete Dragon or Ariete Axolotl by Lemon Cat Crochet. This is just the head. And since I was already painting safety eyes, I made a new color. I think I'm going to name it Orange Blossom or something orangey. If you have any suggestions, just leave them down below. Because I wanted to add like an orange element to the whole plushie. Because it's very like orangey, well not orangey, it's very pink, like bright pink and purple. And I don't know, I was just like feeling like this, having to add like a purple. Oh my goodness, I know my colors of wanting to add an orange color. So I made these eyes. Not only did I make the head, I made the entire body. And I started on the gills. Has me most excited about this project. Yes, I am working on a big snuggler. And also, I'm using up Little Bunny. I believe I have enough of the purple Honey Bunny for 2 gills. And I also have the orange one. And this isn't Honey Bunny, this is Little Bunny from Premier Yarns. But I believe I have enough of the orange for 4 gills and enough of the purple for 2. So I'm gonna have to like interchange them, intermix them. But the fact that I'm using this yarn is amazing, mainly because it's been sitting in my stash for a while and I really do want to work through my stash as much as I can. So I'm excited to get this axolotl all finished up. So I still have quite a bit to do because I need, as I mentioned, I need to make 5 more of these plus the 4 arms. So the 2 arms and 2 legs, and then like do the frill back here. But that's okay because this is just I want to make project. I also got started on my handmade crochet by AV pattern test for her Lotus flower snail, and I just want to finish it already, but I need to, like, you know, pace myself, really enjoy the whole pattern testing process because I got this done in like 20 minutes. This is about a little bit more than half of the body. I just need a final, like a few more rounds, but I stopped here so that I could properly stuff the head. So that's on my plate. So going back to what am I going to do today? So I need to wait a little bit until like the sun is not like too in my face so that I can take photos with all 7 dinosaurs. And then in the evening, I'll continue to work on the Lotus flower snail. I'll update you tomorrow. Bye. So it's the day before Danny Dino release and I am at the flower festival en Ay Bonito, el Festival de las Flores en Ay Bonito. Yeah, so. So that's the final update for this video. I did not plan that I was going to end the week here, but it's so nice, it's so refreshing. And I hope you enjoy the little snippets of what I've been able to film in you know, while I've been walking around. It's been raining on and off, but overall it's good. I'm trying to get as much of the flowers in the background. I'm a mess, but love it, love it, love it. This is where I get a lot of inspiration from little flowers and for my plant wall. So thank you so much for joining me today. I hope you have a great day wherever you are. Please consider subscribing to my channel, liking the video, commenting, and I will see you next time. Bye.